Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to Love Adventure number 2 readings. The last time I did love readings was about 3 or 4 months ago. It was like back in June of this year. So it's time for an update. Now, these are timeless, of course, but love is such an amazing adventure into knowing who we really are. So we're going to jump in and see what's coming next in our adventure of love. If you want to check out the previous ones, I will throw a link to the playlist for the Love Adventure number 1 at the end. So if you want to go check those out, feel free to do so. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what is in store for you. All right, all my Capricorns, this is your 3-month love adventure reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Rumi Oracle. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about the overall energy or theme of the 3-month love adventure, or just what the Creator wants you to know about this 3-month adventure. Just whatever information can help you have the most amazing, wonderful 3-month adventure in love. All right, there we go. A beautiful card. That's card number 44, Merciful Mother Jamal. And 44 is a power number, which, if you want to look that up, if you can just Google it or whatever your favorite search engine is, just do angel number 44 and see which one jumps out and resonates for you. And we'll see what that brings in for this specific card deck. And there's a little bit of like a little information that goes with this, and I'm going to read that. So it's going to be like a little story time with Bretta Zen, which is quite all right. It usually has beautiful, beautiful information. So that's why I love reading it. Now the Rumi like little poem says, "Oh, sudden resurrection, oh, countless blessings, oh, blazing fire in the jungle of thoughts. Today, you arrive with laughter to break open the jail. Woohoo! Freedom!" And then there's also a message from Rumi. It says, "You, blazing angel, capable of so much, you invoke the testing hand of life. Why not when you cannot fail? Yet, in your sweet surrender, how can the great beloved not respond in kind and offer you solace, comfort, and mercy? For not all success must be hard won." Can you imagine this? The sweet face of the all-powerful? It shines upon you as the love emanating from the Holy Mother's eyes, the golden radiance of her body, and the gentleness of her touch. This is your birthright now, your divine inheritance, the mercy of the All-Merciful. Let it soften the hard edges of your life and your being, and bring to you the grace that is deserved. Beautiful. And then it goes on to say, so this oracle brings you a message. There is a shift taking place now in a matter of great importance to you, from Jalal to Jamal, from justice to mercy. This is your path, your destiny, and your blessing now opening up before you. It may be a particular matter, however, it likely includes your entire life orientation. You're being granted refuge, respite, and shelter from the storms of struggle and doubt, and being given a divine sanctuary of safe harbor. You shall find that the unraveling of the struggle and pain now happens through tenderness, a gentler approach. You're also being asked to take stock of your own thoughts and attitudes. Having to be tough and play hardball in the past has served its purpose. Yet this oracle comes to you with guidance to become softer in your way and softer in your attitude. Can you gently but firmly place to one side the judge within, the one who keeps score and demands retribution, an eye for an eye, the exponent of absolute justice? Can you invite instead the one who gentles the aggressive lord within and allows him to bow before the great lady who loves, is wise, and who steadies the workings of the world with the softest of touches? Don't fear that if you suddenly give yourself a break, all your discipline and hardness and toughness and suffering will go to waste. No, all things provide learning and serve divine purpose. But now there's no reason to continue in that way. It's time to learn another way. You are strong enough now to become gentle. I love that. You are strong enough now to become gentle. If there's a foe or fight in your life, ask for the Mother of Mercy to bless it into resolution. If you've also drawn the hand of Fatima, you're being told that this resolution is already on its way. You're being told now that you can stand your ground and remain in your strength without having to become aggressive or hard. You have the power. Sorry, I lost my place. There you go. You have more power than you realize, and it's in your being. It's not in your ability to control others or manipulate situations, for such actions are unworthy of a being of your magnitude and are unnecessary for your success. You're also being given the message that your prayers are powerful. Although action in the world is a part of your soul purpose and plan, when you pray, have conviction that your prayers are real, are heard, and are responded to by the great universal heart. So pray carefully and thoughtfully. Be present and speak as if you were speaking to your dearest, oldest, and most influential and powerful friend, because, of course, that is exactly what you're doing. Pray from the heart and trust in the power of your prayers. There's no limit to what you can pray about, nothing too unspiritual or unworthy. Nothing. So pray. This oracle brings you the message that the great power of compassion is reaching for you, that it wants to help you, but it's waiting for you to ask. So ask, then you shall receive. Beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. So definitely these next 3 months are about this freedom feeling, the movement. I loved how it said about moving from a prison and being set free. You know, all that restrictiveness, all that defensiveness, like all that aggression, and it's actually the fight or flight that you had to do to survive. And it was all for a purpose, like it said. All the past shadowy events and emotions that were so uncomfortable, rooted in fear, were all for a purpose and on purpose. But now you're coming to this place in your life where you're ready for this transformation, which 44 can be considered a master number. You're ready to move into a new phase, into a new level, into a new place in your life that is more gentler, more full of unconditional love, rather than the fear of losing this conditional love. So we're going to get more here, of course, and we're going to look into these crystal medicine oracle, which these will be like what tool will help you move from prison into freedom, prison of the mind to the freedom of the heart. You know, to be just expressive and flowing. I really love this picture here of the merciful mother. You know, it's not about needing to defend, not about needing justice for the wrongs that have been done to you, because you realize as you move in here, as the trash man rolls up, that the trash can be taken out, right? That the things that all these judgments and all this stuff that you've been defining yourself by and fighting for and feeling the need to defend have all just been an image. It's all been imagery. It's all been illusion because you are not defined by the external world. You're not defined by the opinions and the should-bes, the need-tos, the have-tos from the outside world. You're defined by your inner love, your inner self. And as you do that, you're able to let go, because all those prison bars are those beliefs around how you're defining yourself by the outside world, which is retail price. It's what you're worth to others, not your self-worth. Self-worth is how you feel about yourself. And so this is a beautiful release from that, because the mind, of course, is where the expectations live, all the conditioning, all the laws of what needs to happen in order for you to be considered lovable, right? So we'll look at that, but we're going to look at what tool here helps you move out of that prison and into the freedom of being unconditionally loved. No fear of losing the love, because there's no conditions, right? Nothing you can do to lose that love, and nothing you can do to gain more of it, because you have it all already. No conditions. Okay, here we go. Self-mastery. We were just talking about mastery, right? That's card number 27. And it also says spider is the medicine, and topaz is the crystal. So let me see that here. It's holding a crystal in their hand. And let me put that right here. And then we'll read and see what here, and don't worry, it's not as long as this other one. But beautiful information. I just love all these beautiful oracles that are created for our journey. So self-mastery. You are your own master, always have been and always will be, and it's time to embrace all of who you are in its totality. This card is a sign that it's time to take your mastery to a whole new level. Exactly what I was saying. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Life is full of opportunities and lessons that guide us to the realization that everything we require lies within, and we have our own answers to our questions. When we take the time to honor and awaken the master within, only then does this aspect of ourselves have the opportunity to shine in its full glory. To master something takes time, commitment, discipline, strength, and courage, and you have these aspects available to you at all times in abundance. Have you been looking outside of yourself for the answers? Are you going through some challenging and uncomfortable situations in your life? Are you being tested around your values? These are all powerful signs you're awakening to a deeper sense of your own self-mastery. You're asked to be patient with yourself through this time as a deeper sense of clarity births within you. You are connecting deeply to your inner wisdom and weaving your magic into the world on the deepest level. It's time to accept, honor, and trust yourself in this powerful process as you step deeply into your mastery. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, definitely. New level, mastering yourself, that Master 44 number, definitely moving to this next level. And 44, when you add 4 and 4 together, is 8, which is the strength card in the tarot major arcana. So I love that also is telling you have the strength within yourself. Now, the medicine that it mentions is spider. Spiders are ancient creatures that have been around in abundance for millions of years. Spider is a powerful ally and medicine to support and assist us in weaving our medicine and mastery into the world. She reminds us to be patient with ourselves in the process, that we're deeply connected to and a part of the web of life and all its divine wisdom, and can access this wisdom at will. When Spider shows up, it's time to tune into your mastery and birth it into your world. Beautiful. Yes, definitely it is the time to meet the master within. If you have not met them already, at least become reacquainted if you've lost a touch. Next, we're going to move into these. These are the Love Oracle cards. And I've got two sets. I've got I consider like this the shadowy side of the conditional love of life, and then that's going to represent these things that you feel are imprisoning you, some of the bars that are closing you in. And then once you go through this beautiful transformation into the softer side, into the mastery side, connecting to that inner strength, where you no longer have to show outside strength, but now, like it said, you're strong enough to be gentle, then what comes, and that will be from this side, which I consider the higher heart, your spiritual heart, instead. So we'll see what the Creator wants you to know about these bars that have been enclosing you in. And of course, this is a general reading, so I can't possibly cover them all. So just take what resonates with you and leave the rest for others. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about these bars that are enclosing them in? Okay, anything else? Okay, that one and that one. So first, you've got the golden mirror. So self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationships, love bombing. Yeah, definitely these... And I really feel this has to do with the worth, because that golden mirror, like when you look into it, when you're like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who loves me? And like the mirror is black in here, and you feel empty, and you feel like it said, this one-sided relationship. It's always me, giving. And I'm always disappointed. I'm never getting enough love from the outside world. And that's what I really feel from this, that that's one of the bars that you have, because you're like, I'm not worth being loved, so I'll just accept these relationships, where what did I saw this quote about narcissists? Oh yeah, it says narcissists, they're so self-absorbed, they'll stick their own head up their butt and blame you for the smell. It's like, that's how you feel, right? You're like, oh my God, I just I have to give, and it's never good enough for them, because they end up leaving me or looking for more outside of what I can give. And I never get anything back, and it's just always not reciprocated, at least to the extent that you are giving, that you feel you're giving to the other person as well. And what I love that is that there is this lesson that comes from that, which will probably transform over into here, but you can only love others as much as you love yourself. So if you love yourself this much, that's as much love as you can give, but it's also as much love as you can receive. And so as you develop and move into this self-love more and more, then that opens your capacity not only to be solid within yourself, to when you look in the mirror, you see yourself, say, who loves me the most? And you're like, there I am, besides the Creator of all things, right? But you get to see yourself and go, I love myself. And that's what I need. Everything else is just extra then. You don't care about who else shows up, because you have enough in you. And then because you're whole and complete already, you're able to just flood love out to the world, and you're also able to receive so much more love and see the love that people can give and are capable of giving, rather than feeling like, they're failing because they're not giving to the extent that you feel you need to live. Because they can never give you that. You can only find that within. All right. And then you have healing heart. So, yeah, definitely heartbreak, toxic relationships, and addiction. So you definitely have this, hearing the song in my head, addicted to love. Addicted to your expectations of love, addicted, like we were talking about, that you need to get that from the outside world. And so I feel, there is this need to be needed, which brings you into this, this kind of has a lot of the same taste of it, which is being an enabler in codependent relationships where you are the giver, and because if you feel you're not giving, they don't need you, because what you've experienced is if you don't give and you don't have something to keep them, that they don't stick around. And so you feel like you almost have to keep them engaged in the relationship by what you can give them. And if they're the one trying to give to you, it freaks you out, because that means they don't need you, right? And if they don't need you, they'll leave you, because obviously you have this belief that if they don't need something from me, I'm not worthy to be around. And so this is a very toxic type of relationships that happen with that. And that's one of the bars that happens, because that's what you deserve, what you think you deserve, in your life. And then you have healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. And even around this, you have these beliefs and a lot of attachment to outcomes. And what I feel that the bar for the prison in this is you have happiness set in the future, because you have all these things. It's like, okay, if I make all these healthy choices, then eventually I'll be happy. If I focus on obtaining self-love and having a lot of self-care, I'll be happier later. And it's sorry, the garbage man is coming by, if you can hear that. And that's exactly what it is. Is that a garbage can? I think they even are holding a garbage can. So it's like, yes, that's Creator, that's Spirit saying yes. And that's garbage. It's garbage thoughts that we have, because in comparison, if we're able to connect, like I was talking about, to that divine love inside and finding your love from inside, then you have everything you need in this moment, and you can choose to be happy right now. And you can choose to be happy for no reason at all. And then you have nobody can take it away from you. Nothing can take your happiness away if you're happy for no reason, right? Because then no one can take the reason away. And I really feel like this, again, that bar in your cell that's imprisoning you is this attachment that the future is where you're going to find happiness, but you can't be happy yet because all these expectations have not been met. And then you have passion. This is insane chemistry. And it says, like each other equally, having fun. And what I feel with this one is that it's such a focus, on what sex means to you. And it's that feeling of, it's like there's people that will hug afterwards to have the sex before, and there's people that'll have the sex to have the hugging after. And I feel like this is that, there's like this value that you put on it that when people are attracted to me sexually, that means I'm worth something. And so when someone shows that to us and they're like, oh, wow, you're hot, you get that touch and you have that intimacy and all that, it feels amazing and you feel loved, and then they don't call, or it gets old after a while. It's not new, it's not fresh, and you're not getting, it becomes stale because that's not what's going to make you feel whole and complete, right? It's just a temporary, it's like eating American Chinese food. It's like, okay, it satisfied my hunger for a minute, but an hour later you're hungry again, right? Okay. And I'm going to put this rose quartz heart here. This represents your higher spiritual heart, which is where we feel what we are, which is unconditional love. We are powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. And that's our true essence, right? Not this character that we play with this conditional love and expectations and all this opinion and instability on a love you can lose in a matter of seconds if you do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing or they find something more interesting. That's the dark, shadowy side. But in experiencing that, we understand more completely what unconditional love is. If we always lived in this and never experienced this, we wouldn't even know this exists because it always is around us. But when you experience this, then you understand, and it points back up to the unconditional love and go, it's kind of like air, you breathing air all around you. And you don't realize you're breathing air until you fall into a lake and you're submerged a few feet under it and you're going, air is up there. And I understand what air is now because there's not a whole lot of it down here for me to breathe in the water. So I appreciate it so much more and I understand more of what it is. And you swim back to the surface. So that's that. All right. And then we're going to see, once you step out of this prison cell that you have created for yourself, it's our beliefs and our thoughts, and no guilt, no shame. It's all about what we came here for, on purpose to experience and feel. So for purpose, on purpose, right? And it's, I know at first when we discover that I'm the one that, people go like, here, put this bar up. And you're like, okay, opinions came from the outside on, here's some suggestions on how you can imprison yourself. And you're like, okay, that sounds good. That's what we're supposed to do. It's what you're taught. You don't know any better. So you put all these up. But then you realize, once you get past guilting and shaming yourself, like, oh, it's all my fault. Then you realize, it actually becomes empowering. I'm the one that put them up. I'm the one that gets to take them down. I'm that powerful over my life. And so when you start to do that, then that's what brings you into this next place. And this is what the Creator wants you to know about what happens after you are moved into that gentler, loving, compassionate place where you're mastering yourself and connecting to this true master you are inside, and not this small, powerless, being that you're playing for the sake of the drama, right? All right, Creator, what do you want our Cappies to know? Okay, what else? You got the Chaser. So this is Chaser and codependent relationships, fear of abandonment issue. So I love this because you learn this, because we totally talked about that over here about codependency, right? And this is the awareness that comes from that. And you're like, you know what? I am not going to be the chaser. I am not going to be the one that, becomes this enabler in codependent relationships. Instead, I'm going to allow for equally giving and receiving relationships, which is the adult relationship where both are giving and both are receiving. The codependent relationship becomes where the enabler, the giver, I must give, this paradigm shift happens and you become the adult and they become a child. And so this is all about, I'm going to be able to see and understand why I chose, people who appeared to me as being needed to be rescued, because it helped me with my hero need inside for me to have that important place in their lives that they would never ever leave me for anything because I'm their lifeline. Oh, where did they go? So it allows you to allow these equally giving relationships in your life. And again, these, I don't know if I mentioned it in this one, I did in the intro, but this love doesn't have to be about romantic, intimate love either. It can be about friendships. It can be about family. It can be about work, peers in relationships. And it can even be about relationships with your animal companions, all your fur babies and feather babies, right? So it's not limited to that. And then you have stabbed in the back. heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Again, all this beautiful awareness comes when you master the being able to look back and seeing these things. When you are able to come to this beautiful heart center and this merciful place, you're able to look at stuff and things that you perceived as being stabbed in the back. Betrayal is a fear, and the power that comes from betrayal is the belief in the expectation of what should be, what's supposed to be, what has to be, what needs to be. And when someone doesn't live up to that, we're devastated because we attach that to our worth. But when our worth is attached to our high heart, if someone doesn't live up to something they said they were going to do, it doesn't mean anything to us. Anything anyone does of love is extra above and beyond. Anything that someone does that's not of love doesn't matter to us because we're getting all the love we need from this heart, not from the external world. We can allow anyone to give us. So anything anyone gives us is like a gift. And when we open it, we're like, oh, this is beautiful. I love this. This is loving. This is makes me smile and brings more sun into my life, even though my life is so bright already. And you're like, beautiful. I take that. And if you open it and it's a dog turd, you just throw it in the trash. You just let it go because that is not something that you want. And something that you need, not something that brings you any joy, I hope. No, it's everyone to each their own. If a dog turd makes you happy, enjoy. But if it doesn't, then you're able just to discard it without no harm, no foul. Again, you're just like, no big deal. It doesn't define your worth. You just are kind of maybe concerned about what's going on in their life and might reach out to them in love going, are you okay? And then you have, I like you. And I like this because this is what you tell yourself. You can look in the mirror and tell yourself this. And you mean it. Whereas before you might be like, again, with these healthy choices, it's like, okay, I'm supposed to look in my mirror every day and tell myself I like me until I do. And it's like, you don't have to wait. You can like yourself by choice right away, right? And this is like, someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun flirting, want to date. And so that does, because this is a general reading, that does move over, to some of you. And, so you definitely are open. Again, because anything anyone does, it doesn't, you can take it or leave it. And I know that sounds almost uncaring, but it is. You don't care. But and it's the difference of choosing to be around someone because you feel you need them or choosing to be around someone because you want to. You're like, oh, I don't need you, but I want to be around you, but I don't need you. And because when the need in that codependent relationship is where manipulation happens, where all that drama happens. But this is passion. This is enjoying life, and everything is abundance and extra. No neediness, no desperation. Neediness, desperation, right? And then you got the girl talk, which is time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Boom. And that's exactly what it's about. Like I was just saying, you don't need to have all that stuff. And you don't give up your life and all your friendships and all that time. Like girl, and this, of course, is not bound by gender. This is for everyone. Sometimes you give up your friendships with others because you feel you want to spend all your time with the other person and absorb and put yourself into their life so that you're so enmeshed that you mean something to them, and then you abandon your life, right? But this is like, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to feel like you have to give up your life. You don't have to make them your life. They can become a part of your life. And there's a big difference, right? All right. We're also going to get some more clarification here in messages. I'm through this daily tarot. Everyday tarot, sorry. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about this beautiful love adventure over these next 3 months? Okay, anything else? Okay. All right, that is it. You got the Page of Pentacles, and Pentacles is all about the outside world. Pages, traditionally are those messengers. So, the ones that hear ye, blah, blah, blah. You've seen the movies and all that. And so this is about messages from the outside world coming in, which is good because it does show you this transformation here. And if you're not, especially in this point in the beginning, you're gonna get messages from the outside. So you're gonna see signs and synchronicities, other people's conversations, things popping up on your social media, and you're gonna see the same message 5 times, boom, 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 from 5 different places, and you're like, I think I see a sign. And it's just know that message is for you, and it is the beginning of this transformation, of this connecting, of this mastering yourself, of connecting to this gentler side of yourself and stepping out of the fears. The page also represents children, the viewpoint from a child's point of view around the outside world. And what that means for me is, before you get all these rules and supposed to's and shoulds and stuff in life, when you're just a young child and you think anything is possible, people are thinking, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a princess. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an alien. It's limitless because you haven't been confined yet by this prison on, no, that's not reasonable. This is what's reasonable. You need to become this and that. You can't do that. And this is about returning back to that place of anything's possible, and your world just blows right open. And I love that because as these confinements go away, it's like having a little puppy that's been in its crate for hours, and you come home from work, and as soon as you open it up, it's woo, and it's just whoosh, running all over the place, right? And so it's a beautiful a beautiful feeling, a refreshed feeling, a very freeing feeling, right? And then you got the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, again, the outside world, you're going through the steps, you're doing the work, you're doing the inner work. And this also is a card of mastery. So right here above this with all the masters, you're becoming a master in your tasks, the mastery of what you do, the mastery of your life. And then you've got Temperance. And Temperance is all about balance. This is the Ace of Cups, which is the living waters, which is the unconditional love. And then the other one down here, that's like your emotions of your physical realm, of your physical, being. And this is very alchemy-like, where it's pouring the love of the upper love down, and it's bringing that love down into your experiences here. And I also love that they have 1 foot on land and 1 foot on water. The land is like your pentacles, is your outside physical world, and your brain, your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets. And then the water is your spiritual side and your emotional side. So the love that's coming in is just hitting every area of your life. So this beautiful transformation that happens, it starts on the inside, and how you are on the inside is how you see the world. So you change from the inside out, and your world changes from the inside out. So I love that saying that says, what is it, that you don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. So when you're this, you see the world this way. When you're this, you see the world this way. And I love it. And then next we're going to pull a card here from these guardian angel cards. I'm just going to see what your posse up above, your angels, your guardian angels, your regular angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones who have gone to the other side already, your ancestors, creator, spirit. You have a large group of beings of unconditional love and light that love you so much and send you beautiful, beautiful messages. And you got compassion. Yes, definitely. And I'll read that here. I'll let you see that first. It says, dearest one, be compassionate towards yourself, right? Merciful compassion. Surrender the self-criticism and fear that has you believing you need to improve in order to be worthy, right? You are perfect just as you are. The only thing that needs to change is your perception. You will come to realize the jewel you are when you love and honor yourself as you are. So perfect. We'll put that right here. And that's totally what this is all about. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself compassion. Don't need to be such a hard butt. And then this is a crystal quartz, like white quartz or clear quartz, depending on your view of it. But the what this represents, and I'm going to put this over here, is this brings clarity and clearness. I guess clarity is the better word, around anything that's happened in your past. Because one of the things that happens is you connect to this higher spiritual love, this unconditional love. You're able to look back and see things from a whole different perspective when you're looking back at all this stuff. And so this brings clarity into understanding that everyone, when you're in this human side, this fight or flight mode, you're generally in fight or flight quite a bit of the time. And a lot of your actions are either, fighting to feel loved or fleeing from things that you feel are going to make you rejected or unlovable. And so everyone that's walking in this conditional love is usually freaking out quite a bit. And that's where the manipulation happens, where the codependency happens, where all those uncomfortable emotions of fear happen, like feeling betrayed and, sadness and loneliness and a lot of those things. It all happens in this realm here. But when you realize that people's actions were, it's like trying to rescue somebody that's drowning, and you swim out there and they smack you because they're freaking out. The smack isn't personal. You just happen to be there when they're freaking out, right? I mean, that's what it is it's not intentional towards you. It doesn't mean anything about you. It was just a cry for love, and they were in fear, in panic mode. And so when you're able to really ground yourself in this love, then you see that for all that it was. Okay? But I'm lastly going to pull cards here from these from the heart affirmations, and this is just going to be your final messages on what the Creator wants you to know about these next 3 months on your love adventure. So Creator, what's your final messages for our Capricorns? Okay, and anything else? Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And this one says, I create loving action which sets my soul free as I grow with gratitude. I'm going to put that one right here. Yep, sets you free from your prison. And that is something. Gratitude is huge. When we focus on what we're grateful for and thankful for, that's what grows in our life. We're focusing on what we think is missing out of our life. That's what grows, right? And then this one says, I anchor the boundless light in my heart. I am divine. And I'm going to put that here because really this is connecting to your higher self. This, of course, is your higher self, your beautiful higher heart. And then you have, I create positive actions through the cycle of change. And there you go. Here's all the positive outcomes and the positive actions because of this cycle of change that you're in, and it's beautiful. And that is something to remember as well, like this, the alchemy is pouring. It's this beautiful cycle that you're going through, this process that you're going through. And you do go through this ebb and flow of life where you experience all this, and then you get this beautiful spark of who you really are and experience this. And then you want to experience this some more. And so you go back into here, and having experienced this, you see this all differently. And then you come back here, and then you, look back and see what you experienced on phase 2. And then you go back here, and you're still not the same person as you were here or here or here. You just keep on moving up. It's like a spiral staircase. You might feel like you've come back to the same place, but you're not the same person as you were on floor 1. You go floor 2, floor 3, floor 4, and it's this beautiful cycle that we get to live and experience, because this life we come here is all about experiencing the contrast between what we're not, so we can more fully understand who we are, right? I love it. So just know, as you're going throughout your beautiful 3-month adventure in love, that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. If you did want to check out the first Timeless Love reading I did, the link will be up here or down here, and you can check that out if you so wish. And then until next time, just know that I will be talking to you very soon, and you take care. Bye-bye.